This quote's going to change your life. Listen to this. Success isn't finding the one trick or secret that nobody knows. It's doing the boring things that everybody knows, but are undisciplined to do it, or too undisciplined to do it. So I want to talk about what it takes to really make your life a success. It's doing all the little things that people don't want to do. So I'm going to elaborate on that quote and really what that means. So if I look back to my journey as an entrepreneur and the things that have worked, it's really doing not a lot of stuff, but it's doing a lot of the little things really, really well. Let's take social media, for example. I make content on pretty much a daily basis, and I create these different videos, I create these posts, and what I committed to do is to every single day make a post on social media. Why? So a lot of you, always ask me questions on how do I become more successful, how do I do more investing. Really, it comes down to doing the little things that other people are not willing to do. That's why there's this quote that I always say that if you do what others don't, you'll have a tomorrow that others won't. And what I mean by that is that you've got to be prepared to put in the hours, put in the time. I'll give you an example. This morning, I went to go to the gym. I said to my friend, shall we go straight to the gym or shall we just go to breakfast? And breakfast was this way and the gym was this way. So we diverted to the gym, and we were supposed to just go in and have a look. But as we went in, I thought to myself, wouldn't it be great to be able to just have a little quick workout? So we had some superset sessions. But one of the things I realized was this, is that if you want to create greatness in your life, if you want to create more success in your life, you must put in the time. If you want to create a great body, you must put in the time. Someone sent me a message recently saying, hey John, your gym workouts seem to be, doing all right. You're starting to look a little bit slimmer than you were in your last videos. And one of the reasons for that is I've stayed disciplined in my food. For example, I used to have a lot of desserts, I used to have a lot of puddings, I used to have a lot of carbs, but now it's cutting a lot of the things out that I actually really love to do, but it's the discipline of doing it that produces results over time. So for example, when I started real estate, I kept calling people who wanted to sell the properties below market value. I wanted to be in a position where I'm always looking for the below market value deals all the time. And it was through this boring process of looking on Rightmove every single day, making phone calls every day, going to networking events, not every day, but on a weekly basis. But for me, I'd always be doing some kind of action, because the more action you take, the more money you make. The more action you take, action creates results, creates the momentum. So I want you to start thinking about what are the things that you want to do that's really gonna help you get to that thing, and what's the boring things that you gotta do to get there. For example, again, in business, sometimes it's making sales phone calls. So when I first started my business, I was the one picking up the phones. I was the one calling people and closing the deals. And some of you say, well, John, you can't scale a business that way. But no, but you can earn enough at that start to be able to monetize. By the way, I just want to show you this beautiful sunset whilst we are here. Currently here in Aruba, and just quickly show you that sunset, because what I love to do is kind of do these reflections, these sunset reflections. At the end of the day, what are some of the things that you've got to do in order to get the things that you want in life? And sometimes it's the things that we don't want to do that we want to do to get to that result. In real estate, I would always be doing a lot of due diligence in areas that, again, I don't particularly like doing it, but I know that if an area comes up, I can make a split decision to be able to buy that property quickly. So I got really, really good at learning how to master these simple processes that were boring. It's interesting because a lot of people say, well, John, you're so lucky. All the things that you do, you're so lucky. It's not about luck. It's actually about discipline, actually, when you think about it. Discipline to do the things that other people are not prepared to do. People are not prepared to pick up the phone. People are not prepared to, take a risk and start a business. Even a lot of you, when you're asking about investing. So a good strategy is called DCA, which is called dollar cost averaging. So you can dollar cost average in, dollar cost average out. So what a lot of people do is they take all the money, they put it into one stock or one thing, it goes to zero, and that's it. Actually, what you should be doing is diversifying that. So going from, what I call the 30-30-30-10 strategy. So if it goes to zero, it doesn't matter, because now you're only putting a little bit in. When we talk about doing the things that other people don't want to do, you got to think about what are you not doing that you should be doing, that you should be doing, that everybody already knows. It's just I'm no smarter than all of you watching this. We have something that we're passionate about that we want to do, and we want to do these little things every single day. So if you want to get in better shape, just go to the gym every single day, clean up your diet, have someone to guide you through the process as well to be able to get you those muscles, have a personal trainer. Same with your relationships. If you want to improve your relationships, you've got to make sure that every time you are spending time with your partner, with your loved ones, make it matter, stay present. So if you want to improve your relationships, just simple things like your phone, not taking your phone to your date nights with you. So we have a rule now with my partner is that whenever we go out, no phones on date night. Right? And you'll be surprised. How many of you take your phone out, when you go to a meeting or you're having a date night, you take your phone and you put it on the desk face down. And then you have this like urge to, when that person goes to the toilet, you pick up the phone and start checking it. Well, how about just staying present in that moment for a second? How about just really taking it in? I mean, I love to share this with you as the sun's going down, because I think that for all of you now, right now, you have the potential to be whatever you want to be, to do whatever you want to do, to achieve and attract into your life whatever you want to do. The problem is, it's the discipline that is not allowing you to achieve it. I'll give another example as well. I like to give you examples and stories because I think it will help through this. So many years ago, there was an app called Clubhouse. It was a social app. I don't know if any of you have heard of it, but basically it's a social audio app. You turn it on, you talk, basically it becomes like a live podcast that other people can come in and listen to you. So during the pandemic, of course, there was nothing to do. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna go on this app every single day, and I dominated that app. Right, literally within a couple of years, I had almost 1 million followers for my personal following and all the clubs that I had. So it totaled about 1 million people. So I did that in a very short space of time. Why? Because a lot of you, if you want to achieve something right now, you got to make sure that you're putting the time in. It's the little things that produce the big results. It's the little things that every 1% every single day basically grows. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the compound interest, but we also have compound effort, the compound effort of doing something, the more that we learn. Like, for example, I'm listening to a lot of books. I want to show you, there's a really good app called Audible, right? So right now I'm listening to a book called Happy Money. It's written by my good friend Ken Honda. And he talks about, again, practicing the art of money IQ and money EQ. Now, a lot of you also learn all the money stuff, like learn how to make more money, learn how to invest, learn how to make more passive forms of income. But a lot of you, like when you lose money, you may not have the money IQ to support it. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. And this is what I want to share with you. Like, if you can practice your money EQ every single day and you can stay disciplined to the things that you do. So, for example, you want to buy something, okay, we have the urge to go and buy it, but then you spend years paying it off. So I want you to start thinking about staying disciplined. Make discipline a word that you live by, a word that it becomes a part of who you are. Because when you're able to do that, all these things we're stacking on top, we're stacking, and we keep stacking our efforts, we stack our results. Another thing I want to say to you as well is, you already know how to become successful actually. A lot of you already know how to make more money, like you already know how to do that, but yet you're not doing it. For example, if you want to learn something, you're like, John, I don't know how to do that. Do you know the amount of people I've spoke to who, I talk about the AI stuff, I talked about the blockchain, talked about Web3, and they go to me, John, I have no idea what you're talking about. I said, okay, well, you should really go out and watch these channels. You should really go out and go to these networking events. You really should go to these shows that are out, and you should really learn from these people. Right now, what you want is you want the edge. The edge gives you that little 1% advantage of doing something and having that edge of creating something faster and quicker. And the discipline of actually learning. So for me, every single day, I always love to go for walks. I love to go for a workout. Now, when I'm on a walk, I like to do something called a neck time. It stands for no extra time. So as I'm walking, I get to learn at the same time. So one thing I stay disciplined to is that I always want to learn new things. This is what I realized between millionaires and billionaires. Millionaires, they get to a level and they become cocky. They get to a level and they have ego. It's a problem if you're only making X amount, right? But billionaires, they have this abundance mindset. And this abundance mindset is there's plenty for everybody, but we always want to learn. They're always curious. So that's why I say to you, like for me in that my discipline, I always like to listen to books. I want to learn and go to seminars, go to masterminds, because these are all things that compound your learning. Because you can take one thing, it's what we call a success process. The success process of one thing that works in one business, you can take and put into another business. This is what I want you all to start thinking about. That's why I'm here in Aruba right now, because I want to make sure people that get to hang around are people that are movers and shakers. These are all people that really are on a mission to create impact, but also at the same time wanting to learn from each other. So that's why I think if you ever have the chance as well to hang around people on a regular basis, start writing down like the top 10 people that you know who already have the result that you want or that you aspire to, and you want to hang out with them and ask them questions. So this has become part of my discipline. It's like, yeah, I could go to the cinema and watch a film, I could go to the show and I could watch a West End show, but what if I just pick up the phone and say, hey bro, I'm going to be in town, could I buy you dinner tonight? Now I know what you're thinking, but John, it's okay for you because you already have the contacts. Well, the way you get the contacts is about adding value in the first place. Again, how I've been able to work with a lot of celebrities, public figures, professional athletes is because consistently I was putting out content so they could listen, so they can learn this stuff. Like even this video, I don't care if 1 million people watch this or like 2 people watch this. What I care about is the 2 people that did watch this, it's going to make an impact, and hopefully that person will share it to somebody else to impact their lives. It's never about the money, it's about the impact. I mean, money is important, of course it is, right? But it's the impact that you make. So one thing I love to do every day is if I want to achieve something great, I need to impact more lives. That's part of what I want to do. I want to impact more people. I want to get to that next level. By impacting people, I want to put these videos out so I stay consistent to it. So it's the discipline. And if I ask you right now, what is it that you want to do? You could write me down a list of all the things that you want to do. But the issue is that you are not practicing it every day. You are not implementing every day. You're not learning this stuff every single day. That's why if you love this channel, I'm going to put a lot of this content out there to really help you with not just the money IQ, but also the money EQ. We combine these together. That's when we get compound effects. If you haven't done so, do make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, because it will help